Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to City Skylines. You're going to hear me intro that again when the time lapse is over, so just be prepared for that. But today, I tell you what guys, I've never been frustrated as I was trying to figure out this part today. So I noticed as I was kind of getting things ready for determining what I was wanting to accomplish with Fairwood today, that I was so tired of this backup that was occurring here. It was reducing my traffic flow. So I decided that I looked at the traffic and saw that there was a very simple solution, and that was to simply bypass that cloverleaf with its own intersection. So as you see, I worked on that, saw that it wasn't exactly as I wanted, that a majority of traffic actually was going beyond that exit. And so I then spent a little bit of time and created that bypass, and that bypass helped immensely. It took a little while, but it did come through. And then I decided to finally just suck it up, tried and tackled the industrial district. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up just making a highway bypass here. That was, I think, the best solution for everything, and I think it will work to the best for the future. That it would allow me to do further expansions and whatnot. It took me a little while to get there. You still see I'm trying to monitor traffic, trying to see what is best before I just decide to go bonkers, tear everything down, and start a new renovation project. I do think that this works by the end of the renovation. It was very successful in expediting traffic and making things work fantastically. So that's what's going to happen for these next few minutes, guys. I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy it. And then we can finally, I think, be done with this daggum intersection because I'm so tired of it. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think about the time lapse in the comment section below, and I'll see you in real time. Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to our city of Fairwood in City Skylines. You saw our introductory area over here, and if you didn't, I'm not, honestly at the time of this recording, I don't know if I am going to use it or not, but I will say this is modified from what you saw. I decided to straighten out the roads. but I think this is a very solid way to free up quite a bit of traffic. You saw all the functionality here of basically me getting my life in order, finally deciding to tackle things as it should be tackled. And while it's not perfect by any stretch of the means, I do think it looks significantly better, and I think it is handling traffic significantly better, including this add-on over here. This is a little uglier, but overall, I'm honestly pretty okay with it. Still not entirely sure what to do with this section. I don't know if we need to add another big park here with another big set of residential, maybe some like lower income kind of a deal with a lower income perspective over here. Obviously, we're gonna run the oh, okay, I was like, it stopped. Cool, our Adventureland got to level 3. That's good news. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do with this. We have to unlock it first, but I'm thinking it might be kind of a city pier, kind of lower end neighborhood kind of deal over there. We still have a long ways to go before we tackle that. But guys, before we begin today, as always, if there are ways to engage the YouTube algorithm, you should do it. Like giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to the YouTube channel, doing all the good things there. We have a little bit of an issue here. What's going on? We are stuck. Okay, good. It reset itself. Sometimes these things happen, and it looks like it's kind of happening more and more. We'll have to keep an eye on that, especially considering we're going to have to connect that here. But as always, like I said, you can do all those things to engage the YouTube algorithm. It's greatly appreciated, but never, ever expect it. You can see kind of how things are going to evolve in this section. Once we were able to unlock this part, I don't know that we would... No, it looks like we'd have to unlock 2 more parts in order to get that. So we would have to come around and loop it through here. So what we're going to have to do today is we're going to have to start our downtown. I don't know that it will actually happen, but we are going to kind of do things a little more live than what I have been doing in the past. Simply to give you guys just a good intro back. There we go. That's a really nice progression right there. We're gonna have to do the same thing over here. Let's go down twice. Do you think that's too drastic of a drop? I think it is a little bit too drastic of a drop. Let's go ahead and knock it down by 1. Let's see, let's do this. And then right here, knock it down by 1. We may have to knock it down by 1 progressively lower and lower. Yeah, that's not too shabby either. And that's essentially what's going to happen here, is it is going to allow us to have some neighborhoods or some sections over here. Now, part of me really does want to keep to these lines, but I don't know how successful it will be. Mainly because I don't have a great point of reference. And even if I do something like this, it's only going to give me the weird ways. And so I feel like it's really going to be helpful to bring in a line that's parallel to how I want to do it. But I don't know that there actually is a line. So what we are going to do, we are going to wing it. And this is going to be our direction that we choose to go for here. All right, and this is important. We have to establish this pretty daggum early on, because if we don't, we're gonna have lots and lots of issues. Let's go ahead. We're not gonna do all the greenery. Oh, I guess we are. That's fine. Let's do all the greenery, because we do care about the greenery scene. Don't want to make it seem like we don't. And essentially what we're going to have to do is I want to make this into a park. And I think... Now, what's really nice about this game is that we actually have a central park that we can use. But I don't know that I actually want to end up using it. Apparently, I can't find it. Here we go. Central Park. It's pretty big, but it's not near big enough. I honestly want a pretty daggum huge park to go on down here. Let's see. Our biggest park is probably Victoria Grounds. Daffodil Garden's actually pretty big itself. But I really want to make this like a pretty huge park. I mean, we've already got the lake in the middle and everything. It's almost like it was just ordained to happen. Now, we will stick with our kind of square formation. And I want to keep it relatively coherent. Is that too big of a park? I feel like that's a friggin' flagging huge park. Let's not make it that big. I have to keep it reasonable. We can keep it super long, but I think even by conservation standards, that's a little too much. Is that a 90? I think that is a 90. So what we actually need to do here is you can see how much the land scales up. So we are, I probably shouldn't have done that. There we go. Now what we need to do is we need to do all of these things. So guys, I'm going to do this just real quick. I'll be right back. All right, well, that was relatively simple. Now, I really feel like we're going to struggle with this park because of its terrain. But maybe we can add some cool things like we could... Oh, man, I wish this was Prehistoric Kingdom we were playing with. Because we could just embed some rocks and really make a really cool scene out of it. Let's go ahead and establish the park. There we go. Park area. Umber Hill. No, we're actually gonna dissolve. I'm gonna dissolve this real quick. That we just have Umber Hill, which we're actually gonna name Central Park. Very nice. Policies. Advertisement campaign, absolutely. This is going to be our main park. Let's do a recycle garbage as well. I think that will be fantastic. And then, guys, it bugs me that this doesn't lead straight up halfway. What do we got? 5,500 divided by 2. That's going to be 2,750. I don't know that we actually have a 2,750 that we could do. We could do this, which is about as close to halfway as we can get. You're just going to have to ignore the fact that it's not halfway. There we go. I think that'll work. I think it will. And we've already got people commuting all the way across. It's a loner. He tried it because Siri told him to, and it's not paying off. But what we got to do next, so we have our basics. We could go ahead and drop this in. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's get it done proper. We are going to have a main gate, which is going to be right here. And then we are actually going to have several. I am talking several small gates as we kind of dot everything through. And as much as I would love for it to be correctly anatomically, I don't think it's going to be that important. I think what really matters is just the distance of all that and how it functions well. All right. We will throw that stuff in there, but for now we've got gates or fences, excuse me, that are not going to work apparently. Can I bring you out there? There we go. Very nice. We have our fence. Now we just need to work on this. Now, what's going to be really tricky about this park, again, is the idea of how janky the landscape is. But I think this will actually give us a really unique opportunity to create a park that maybe no one has ever been a part of. And that is simply one that has a lot of bridges to it. And I honestly can't think of too many that have the extensive bridge system that is going to go on here. So let's go ahead and we're just going to do one straight across. This is as high as we get. Oh, that's not good. I guess it makes sense. You don't want too crazy high. Let's go ahead. Let's see how I want to approach this. Because that's really stinking steep. Let's not do it like that. Let's kind of diverge. Straight from the get-go. And then I think what we might do is we may just have we're really going to focus on not making any bridge parts over here. We're going to have a walking area around the entirety of the lake. Which might give us some good fishing opportunities, which is something we haven't had in any of our other parks. Sweet. Okay, so we got that rolling pretty well. This is still just a really big drop. So we're actually going to snake things down. Perfect. Oh, that, I actually really like that. We could probably make it a little more uniform. If we turned road stuff on. And maybe kind of the fun aspect to this is that it doesn't have that uniformed look, but I don't know. I think it's good. And then I still also want the other trails to kind of come around the back if we wanted to do such a thing. These aren't too bad. We could almost just go straight down. No, even that's still pretty bad. So everything's going to be a little bit janky. But you know, we're really just having to cater to the terrain, which I think is great. I've never had to really worry about something like this before in a park. But I think it will turn out really, really well. Especially spots like this. Like, you know what? We could do this real quick. That's not the button I wanted to press. Let's go ahead and get up, and then we're just going to raise this to kind of create kind of a lookout area. Let's see, we're going to level this terrain. There we go. That's kind of cool. And we'll put a couple of gazebos here, which I think will make the area look really, really good. Kind of just trying to work with the terrain as much as possible. Create something that is, you know, quasi-realistic as well. Because we've got a lot of these things coming up. A lot of these areas where it's going to be a little bit weird to have some of these spots in without creating some potential solutions. So just simple things like this, which I think really adds some good flavor. And help make these sort of more difficult terrains a reality. Actually, I think it's going to work really, really well. All right, let's get back to our paths. We might just make this about our Central Park today. I don't know if you guys have an opposition to that, but let's see. Let's start with over here. Nope. Always go to the wrong thing. Always go to the wrong thing. Yeah, see, that didn't work. That didn't work right there at all. Let's get the terrain bumped up. There we go. That actually worked pretty well. Let's smooth it out. There we go. There we go. I think that'll work. And then we get back to here. I really do wish it wouldn't put it right there. There we go. I think that's cool. I think that works great. And then, you know, as we drop through here, we're gonna have to adjust things as we fly. There we go. But then also breaking off. Space is already occupied, I understand, but we should be able to connect back. That's not supposed to happen. There we go. I still don't think, I think we're doing pretty good. We could even create some, I mean, heaven forbid we have some just straight lines, right? Maybe that's not possible. Yeah, we've really got to work on that. Creating that gentle slope. That's all we need is a gentle slope. Something that is, again, a little more realistically feasible. We're all about feasibility here. What we might have to do is we might just kind of have to create something that works. So now what we do, if we go and then we slope it down. Nope, we got to go back there. Look at that. That actually looks pretty good. Awesome. I love it. Let's connect that there. There's so many pathways we have to worry about. Oh, we kind of did that wrong. Let's go back here. I want to make sure we probably should just go ahead and make this and have everyone else connect to it. Yeah, that seems like the thing we should have done. Lessons learned. I've never built a Central Park before. Now, I know that seems like a little bit of a crazy thing to do, but I just think having connections across the park is just absolutely essential to building just a really good space for everyone to be in and to live in, to commute across from. I mean, the odds of us being able to... That actually is pretty cool. Okay. Okay, that's... Well, that could go down a little bit. It doesn't need to be that extensive. You certainly don't need to build a 6-lane highway. So if we were to go across there, let's actually go just straight across. It doesn't need to be so crazy huge. But apparently, that's the only thing that's going to work. Just because you never know. There could be some commuters going back and forth that just want to go through there. Very, very cool. Now, we have unlocked all of the park things, which is great, but it also means that for this place, we're not going to really be able to focus so much on the amenities like having a park plaza or having a giant chessboard. It just won't exist in this space because of the terrain. And that's okay, because we could still have some cafes. We can still have, you know, we can still have some bathrooms. We can still do things with our park that aren't crazy ridiculous. We're building on water there. What does that look like? That looks janky as all get out. I am just curious what that sort of thing does. What if we modified the terrain a little bit? What if we had a sort of flattened area that wasn't crazy ridiculous and allowed for some amenities? Like a park info booth. Like a giant chess thing. And then we built those areas up. That looks great. That looks really good. And then, like I mentioned, we can do things like place a gazebo down. Those still work very, very well. Gazebo there. Another little gazebo over here. It's got to technically be covered. Let's go ahead and move it just a little bit closer. There we go. Just giving you some nice views and some places to just enjoy life, right? And of course, just to make sure that everything looks good. That's the very important part. That it just works within the boundaries of what we can do, right? I mean, let's face it, there's some things we just cannot fix. Like this stuff. There's gonna be some jankiness because this is also an unmodded campaign. Alright, trampoline park. Oh my, we definitely don't need a trampoline park. That is a bit unnecessary. But we can have food stalls. I mean, come on. Don't know who would have a food stall in this area, but I still think it'd be relevant. Get your food stall. You can even have a food truck who's able to come in through the entrance and do all their things like that. And the same thing could kind of come over here. We've got the restaurant. We've got all the good things. Can we build a climbing frame anywhere close? Don't know that we could without creating some major jank. So we're not going to have any major jank. We could have things like a park pier. Oops, nope, we don't want to do that. Because that just took out everything that we really wanted to do. There we go. I think piers are very crucial. Is that a little overkill? It might be a smidgen overkill, but I think we'll be okay. And then again, bathrooms. Park restrooms are so crucial. So crucial. That I don't know why you would ever want to be without a park restroom. So we're going to do them by almost every single main entrance. Because I believe a good restroom is the lifeblood of any park. Now with some exceptions. There we go. And to be completely honest, I think there is even enough. Let's get some ground cover. I think ground cover is really the only thing that's missing in some of these areas. And then let's go ahead and do the tier or the progression. Hitting play is very important for the lifeblood. Of our city. Now what we are gonna really have to do. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to connect things. So we're gonna have to play a little bit of a not super fun game. Simply to collect parts of the park to each other. Just a fun little game of cat and mouse with the power. Okay, so all the important parts are going to be connected once we start actually building there, which will be great. But I mean, I really like it. I know I'm a bit impartial. That does look a little funky. And maybe we could add a few more. We could add like shrubs and things of that nature. I think it would really go a ways towards crafting that good experience. That makes things look a little bit better. Looks like we've already got some visitors, even though, man, you're driving a long ways to come here, aren't you? Oh, we have the tourism thing. That's right. So what we can do here is we can... what I need is I need a road. This is perfect. This is great. And then we just need that main line connection. And then we'll go underneath there. That will provide that. Can I even build a wind tunnel? I can, but I just don't know if that's the appropriate thing to do. It may not be. We could drag in some wind power. Connect that for the time being. Will that even connect to us? It'll bring power to a portion. Not everything, though. And then we also need to come in with our water lines. I feel like water lines for this section are relatively easy. I don't feel like we have to obey the typical residential format like we've been doing. Since this is a park, I feel like it's a little more simple. I just also don't want things to get too convoluted, just so I can connect things to power. But if we look at the park area, at the info, we've got several expenses, but you know what? We're making so much money that it's not even really a problem. You know what, guys? We are out of time. I did not expect in any way, shape, or form to be spending my entire time making our central park. But you know what? I think it turned out great. And of course, there's always some things we can do to improve that. But I do really think that it's going to just work very, very well. With some exceptions. Jankiness aside from the vanilla City Skylines, I think our Central Park is looking fantastic. Guys, it is going to be the end of this episode as we gaze at Central Park. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, as always, be sure to give it a thumbs up, sub to the channel, turn on bell notifications, become a YouTube member, or even just super chat. That's a new thing that is going around on this channel. It is a great way to financially support at a simple cost your favorite content creator, which is hopefully me. Guys, we're going to continue building our downtown over the next few episodes because I think everything else is relatively sustainable. But I do hope you enjoyed the Central Park. Be sure to let me know any comments about it, as long as they are constructive. This is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next episode.